y'all got a little annoyed because of what I said yesterday on my post about Mondani and being the new mayor of New York City. And I told y'all don't bring that foolishness down here. I was trying to help you out. I live in Georgia and I'm from Alabama. Alabama said they closed. And I don't want y'all down there no way either because I like to go home. So there are certain things we appreciate down here and certain things we don't appreciate. So I was just trying to make sure you knew what to expect when you came down here. But I wasn't clear, so let me make myself clear. The things we love down here, we love God. We go to church a lot. We got a church on every corner. And the church across the street could be named the same name as the church across the other side of the street, all right? So just know that we got Lutheran, Baptist, Holiness, Pentecostal, Catholic. We got all of them down here. We love going to church every Sunday. Then we like to eat after church every Sunday. And we like Sunday dinner. We love guns. Everybody got a gun. So just trying to let you know, you never know who you're running up on. So be careful because you got that concealed license. You don't even know they got it. But just be aware that the pew-pew is on the side most times. Be surprised, a lot of us down here like Donald Trump. So be aware, that may make you feel uncomfortable. A lot of us like the Confederate flag, and we fly the American flag. Every house got an American flag on it. So you may not like that. I was trying to help y'all out because my daddy over there already asking for money. And it ain't been 24 hours since he been in office. I wasn't trying to stop y'all from being great. So down here, you may feel a little uncomfortable. Come down here, we like what we like. You like what you like. So make sure you pick a place that fit and make you feel comfortable and happy. All right, hope that helps.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Welcome back to the channel. I am your brother Wise, man. This young lady, she's absolutely right. Folks in the South, black, white, and others don't really matter much. A lot of us got the same mindset. Same mindset. You know, pro 2A. And folks love the South. And a lot of folks love God in the South. They call it the Bible Belt for a reason. They call it the Bible Belt for a reason. So if you find yourself in a situation, you're up in New York City and you're like, this isn't for me. Maybe you're up in Minneapolis or maybe you're up in Dearborn, Michigan, and you're realizing like, not for me. You are welcome to come south, but leave your politics, leave your foolishness, leave your shenanigans right where you are. All right. Come on down and assimilate. We're not going to play those games with y'all. Okay. I have a few more clips to share with you guys. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
Tell you right now, there must really be some stupid people in New York City.
Let's not talk about New Yorkers like that. We're not going to say they're stupid. Maybe misinformed, maybe stupid. I don't necessarily want to say that, but let's keep going.
I honestly do believe this. Just with a little bit of deep diving on Google. One, that new mayor that y'all voted in the other day, he has no control over the rent. None whatsoever. So he lied to you there. He also has no control over the bus, so he cannot make it free. Now he can suggest, same with the rent, but whether they do it is up to them. But he can't force them into doing it. So, and grocery stores, the free grocery stores, it's a $60 million startup. Where's he gonna get that $60 million from? You think the rich are gonna do it? Yeah, right. The rich are packing up their shit now and moving to other states. They're not stupid. So who's gonna pay it? You are. See y'all on the flip side.
She's right. This dude has got in there and lied. And he's promised a lot of people a lot of things that he know he can't actually come through without the help of Governor Hochul and, honestly, the help of the federal government. But I want you guys to hear from Hochul herself. She came out and basically said it like, hey, we're not going to be able to do this. And she said that she is not willing to raise the taxes on those multimillionaires and the corporations and things of that nature that pay 48% of the taxes, and they employ majority of the people. She's come out her mouth and said it.
Let's just talk about what Governor Hochul said very recently about buses.
I cannot set forth a plan right now that takes money out of a system that relies on the fares of the buses and the subways. But can we find a path to make it more affordable for people who need help? Of course we can.
It sounded like it was a bit new that she was saying it's not a good time to take revenue out of the MTA. Now, my understanding of your plan is that the city would subsidize the revenue, but she has other reasons why she doesn't sound too keen on the bus situation. Should she have said that before people voted based on that issue? Is that a shift? Or have you always known that she felt that way? And also, is there a workaround?
Well, I think the governor and I share a belief that in making buses free, we have to replace the revenue for the MTA. We cannot simply demand that they do so without covering the amount of money they would raise from fares. And that's a cost of about $700 million a year. And I continue to be excited about the work of making the slowest buses in America fast and free, and of sharing the governor's interest in delivering on an affordability agenda.
But do you need to get past whatever her objection is to it at this point that she just stated in the last couple of days?
I see the concern being that we don't mimic what we saw under the previous administration in Albany, where what we would find time and again is the MTA was told, make this happen no matter what the cost is. And what we want to do is what we did when we made 5 bus routes free in New York City. We found $15 million, gave it to the MTA, covered the revenue they would have made from fares, and ensured that they could still be whole.
Is that the solution in your view?
We're going to approach this as there's always a way to get to yes, that there's going to be a way, and we're going to work with the governor and her staff, and we're going to have conversations to get there. Whatever the barriers are, whether it's financial, whether it's operational, there's a way to figure that out. And that's how we're approaching it.
Yeah, both of these guys are full of sugar honey iced tea. They know they can't do this. They're trying to save face. Governor Hochul came out and said, hey, we're not going to be able to do this. You know why she came out and said that? Is because she needs those people. She needs those millionaires. She needs those corporations. She needs those people to donate money into her coffers. She understands this. The crazy thing, I find it really rich that she would come out and say this after the fact. Why didn't she come out prior to the election and let the people know that, hey, I don't have any intent on raising these taxes. I don't have any intent on doing anything that this dude is talking about. You know what I'm saying? To quote unquote, save you guys some money, which in all actuality would cost everyone a whole heck of a lot more money because they're going to raise taxes to do this. This dude said they want to replace the money. How do you replace the money other than raising taxes on the wealthiest people in the city and the corporations? It's not going to be done. These people are playing games with folks. Unfortunately, you have entirely too many people that feel like there's always something out here for nothing, not understanding that, hey, it's the people who get up every day and work their tails off, middle class and higher, that paid the majority of the taxes. I wish these people would wake up and understand that, though.
Okay, y'all, Mamdani has already started. The mayor-elect of New York City has already named his #1 pick, his first top aide that's coming in to his cabinet is the guy that's the architect of the, get this, $1.1 billion proposal to overhaul the New York Police Department, whereby replacing police officers with social workers. Okay, now listen. I'm not knocking social workers because y'all do a great job, those of you that are and those that are. Okay.
Let's keep it a buck. Social workers don't do a great job. They come in with great intentions and they realize I don't get paid enough for this. I don't get paid to deal with the bureaucracy. I don't get paid to deal with the shenanigans that they deal with. And then they end up doing a piss poor job, not because they're not loving people, but because their caseload, they're overloaded. Their caseload's ridiculous. And they also come to the realization I don't get paid enough to deal with the foolishness that I deal with. Let's just keep it a buck.
Okay. They do a great job, but they have their place. And their place is not to try to go and arrest Pookie and Ray Ray after a gang shooting.
I would agree with them there. Sending social workers out into combat areas or places that you know that are prone for violence is really just a recipe for more violence. And honestly, you're putting those people's lives in danger as well.
Their place is not to go in on a domestic violence call and try to arrest these violent people armed with weapons and shit like that. That is no place for an unarmed social worker with no police experience and all that stuff. That is the police's job. So New York, get ready. You chose it, you voted it in, and now you're going to have to lay where you made your bed, okay? So, do you believe Madani will actually replace New York police officers with social workers, as he stated? as he said, and as his #1 aide has already been chosen, the proof is in the pudding. So, do you believe it will actually happen, or do you believe New York will be a safer place to live, work, and play because Mamdani has been elected mayor? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to follow.
Hey, shout out to this brother right here, man. If you're not checking him out on TikTok, go check him out. Coach Larry Joe. And he's absolutely right. Hey, this isn't going to work, man. This is a recipe for disaster. And to be honest with you, man, they're putting a lot of people's lives in harm's way.
So whenever I try to give someone an objective explanation on why Zoran Mamdani's policies around housing and the cost of living will likely make the crisis worse in New York City, I'm immediately met with people claiming that the laws of supply and demand don't pertain to housing. So I created some charts to explain in this video exactly how supply and demand works within the housing market as well as in municipal economics. Markets are made up of price and quantity, and for there to be any market, there needs to be two sides of the market, the supply side and the demand side. The supply side in the housing market is made up of landlords and developers. And the supply side is greedy. It wants to be able to charge as much as possible for as many units as possible, so it has a positive relationship between price and quantity. The higher the price, the more quantity they're going to want to try to provide in the market. The demand side is made up of renters, and renters try to be as cheap as possible. They try to get as much as possible for as little as possible. So the demand curve has a negative relationship between price and quantity. The higher the price, the less they want it. The lower the price, the more demand there'll be for it. No one side gets to control prices within the market. It's where the two of them meet in the middle, which dictates market price. And the point at which they meet is called equilibrium. It's important to understand that supply and demand curves can shift based on external factors. A perfect example of this would be New York's real estate market during COVID. P1 represents what the average price of an apartment was in New York City prior to COVID. Then when COVID hit, the demand curve shifted in. There was significantly less demand for rental units, so prices were lowered. At the same time, so many people were moving out of the city, supply shifted to the right. There was suddenly a huge increase in supply, so prices lowered even more. And this is why the housing crisis is a supply side issue. So objectively, in order to decrease rent, you need to increase the supply. And a big part of increasing the supply is to take away regulations that make it incredibly hard and incredibly expensive to build more inventory in the city. But that takes a lot of hard work to do. But instead of doing the hard work required to shift the supply curve to the right and decrease prices, what Mamdani plans to do is artificially cap the price with rent freeze and extension of the rent stabilization policy. This splits the supply and demand side curves away from its equilibrium. This in turn reduces the supply of affordable housing while the demand maintains the same, and the split you get creates a shortage. What you very quickly see are two things: stunted inventory growth, there's no building of new units because it's no longer profitable to rent them, and a sharp increase in the price of rent for any non-rent controlled or rent stabilized unit. To simplify the problem even further, imagine that there is a building with 30 rent units in it, right? And 10 of them have their rent frozen. The operating expenses of that building still maintain the same. So in order to be able to run the building and meet overhead, you need to raise the rent on all the other units to subsidize the units that have a freeze on them. So at best, these policies create winners and losers, and at worst, they create only losers. Let me know what you think in the comments, and like and follow for daily economic and public policy.
Simple economics, man. Simple supply and demand. Hey, increase the supply, and the prices will come down. If you decrease the supply and the demand is still there or increases, that means that prices are going to go up. See California. All these places that say they want to, bring in all these regulations, they want to keep people from building, they want to keep, innovation low or down. What they don't understand is that automatically increases prices. We have a housing crisis going on in our nation, all across the country. All across the country, we do. But the red states get it. Hey, lower the regulations or get rid of the regulations and let's allow the builders to do what they do, which is to build. And guess what will happen? Houses will be cheaper and so will rents. But all the cities that have decided that we are going to regulate people pretty much out of business, or we're going to make the regulations so daunting that it slows the process down of building, all of those places, the cost of living is greater because The demand is still there, but the supply can't keep up with the demand. And the people who own, it gives them the ability to charge whatever they want to charge. And the people are going to pay for it because they're looking for homes. I don't understand how people don't understand this. And the last time I checked, people don't start businesses. People don't get into the real estate industry either with the thought process that they're not going to make any money. That's the whole thing about capitalism is that, hey, those that are willing to put the risk, they should reap the reward. What we also understand about capitalism is that there's a lot of people that are going to take risk and they're going to lose. We understand that. Trying to keep people from losing, that doesn't help anybody. And trying to overregulate industries, that doesn't help anybody. It actually hurts the economy. It hurts the consumer. So the plan that this guy has, you know, it could be a valiant plan. It could be. But it's just not going to work because it's not reasonable. It's not sustainable. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment sections. What are your thoughts? I want to hear from you guys. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. Shout out to my guy, Eric Palmer, supporting the channel via Cash App. There's another way that you can support the channel. Join us Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No cap.